What's up? Nick No K here with Bike School, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is your weekly dose of helpful things. Yeah. So today, I'm going to tell you just how literally anyone can do a backflip on a bike. I truly believe that. I truly believe that if you can make it to the ramp, you can flip. Now, what I will say is no, I do not recommend doing a flip for the first time without a foam pit or an airbag or at least a lake of at least 6 feet deep or a pool, the deep end. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to land on your head, okay?
Oh my God.
I made a how to backflip video a long time ago. First thing I said was, okay, I did not have a foam pit. I learned to flip on the dirt, and I said, I don't recommend it. I said, use a foam pit, use an airbag, use something. And I get Instagram messages all the time. People are like, hey, I don't have a foam pit. Do you think I can do it without one? I don't know. I don't recommend it, and I don't know you. So there's that. So please do not reach out to me on Instagram asking if you can do it without one. I'm telling you right now, use a foam pit or an airbag. Okay? Okay. With that said, that is like a pre-tip. And now we're going to get into the 3 tips that you need to do a flip. Tip number 1 is to understand that the ramp is going to do most of the work. If you think of a ramp like this, and when you jump a ramp, you know how you have to stand up and kind of get your chest forward? Well, if you didn't do that, what would happen is you would go up the ramp and you would just loop out and land on your back. You're already halfway to a flip at that point. So when it comes to doing a flip, get it out of your head that you have to flip so much. Trust the ramp and trust that the ramp is going to do a lot of the work if it's, a good kind of box jump style ramp. Or if you go to anywhere with a foam pit, the ramp into that foam pit is probably going to be very good for doing flips. When your front wheel comes off the lip, your bike's already vertical. You only got to get it another 60% around to do it. So that is my first tip, is to get it through your head that the ramp is going to do a lot of the work for you. Now, tip number 2 is to forget what you know about doing a flip, in the sense that it's not like a trampoline. When you do a backflip on a trampoline, you bounce up in the air, you throw your hips forward, you throw your shoulders and your head back, and it's not like that. Throwing your hips against the bars is going to kill the rotation. You basically, when you do a regular jump, you're getting your hips up near the bars and your chest forward, and that is starting to level the bike out. That's stopping you from looping out. So if you throw your head back, that's great. But then if you throw your hips forward, your upper body has now started trying to do the backflip while your lower body and your hips are pushing the bike this way. Again, tip number 1 was to use the ramp. To use the ramp, you can't throw your hips forward like that. So tip number 2 is, don't throw your hips forward. Forget what you know about flips. Don't throw your hips forward. And now where this all ties together is in tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to sit back. Now, this seems counterproductive, but like I said, if you've worked through tip number 1, trusting the ramp, you've gone through tip number 2, and you've accepted that you are not going to throw your hips forward, well, then when tip number 3 comes in, if you actually sit down and back over the back wheel, up the lip, and you almost push your arms out. You sit back and push your arms out, and what that does is it's almost like initiating a manual up the lip, except you're not doing it to that extreme. And what happens when you do that is it allows the front wheel to come off, and it allows the back wheel to just, continue with the arc of the transition of the ramp. And then when you're sitting back like that, you can pretty much stay in that position the entire flip. The only time you really go out of that position is if you are rotating too fast, you can straighten your arms and your legs, and that will slow down your rotation. But really, you just come in, you kind of pump the bottom, and you just like follow the transition with your arms, get your butt back and down over the seat, and you've got bent legs, and then it just allows the bike to follow the transition. And like I said, the ramp at that point does most of the work. You just gave it a little bit of assistance. Now, I know I kind of just rifled through those 3 tips really fast, but really listen to them. Really listen to what I just said, because that's really it. The more you try to complicate the flip, the more places there are to go wrong. And now, real quick, bonus tip number 4. If you've got the sitting down off the lip really good, you're getting consistent flips, the way to get distance and to not case, look forward just a little bit. Right off the lip, do that flip motion and kind of keep your eyes forward, and it kind of tricks your body into pushing through the lip just a little bit to allow yourself to get more distance. Because if you pop really hard backwards and your legs get really extended, then you're just going to go straight up. It's going to be like jumping a spine. And I don't know about you, but if I go to flip a dirt jump, I ain't trying to nose case or land in the middle. You want to go over that whole thing. All right. So, tip number 1, trust the ramp. Tip number 2, do not hip thrust. And tip number 3, arms straight, sit back and down over the bike and be real relaxed and just trust that that baby's going to come around. And look forward if you don't want a case. But don't look too far forward. You look too far forward, you get scared, you let go. Ooh, bonus tip number 5. Don't let go. Like, if you're trying it in the foam pit or something, don't let go. Because if you do, guarantee you that bike is going straight up and straight back down on top of you. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.